top lawyer, the top dog lawyer of the Security and Exchange Commission, regulator for Wall Street, has recently retired. He's been with them, I think they said, since 1986. And kept his mouth shut, naturally, until he left the job, to where they can't do anything, right? Can't fire him. He quit. He's retired. So he's retired and immediately makes a statement that the Security Exchange Commission is basically a fraud, so to speak, and that everybody in positions of power in that regulatory agency that could do something against these Wall Street criminals and whatnot are knowingly not doing anything, strictly for the sole purpose of when they quit that job at the Security and Exchange Commission, they have a huge paying job at one of the many too big to fail banks who they've looked the other way in regards to massive financial crimes that they've committed, which is why they always get settlement, settlement, settlement. Settle out of court, settle out of court, no admission of guilt, settle out of court, $500 million, settle out of court, no admission of guilt. Oh, you manipulated the wheat market, JP Morgan? Don't worry about it. $300 million settlement. You made $7 billion doing it. We'll settle for $300 million out of court. You admit no guilt. Next one, mostly it's JP Morgan, but there's other banks. Energy market, JP Morgan. Manipulated that. Caused people to pay even higher prices than they should have. Settle out of court. No admission of guilt. Cotton market, JP Morgan again. Out of court. Settle. Nothing. Why? Because when they leave that position of power, they know I have an open door waiting for me at JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Citigroup, HSBC, you name it. And it's a very high paying job, and they probably don't have to do anything at the job other than maybe show up every now and then, because there's nothing for them to do at the job. That's repayment for looking the other way when they could have thrown the book at these banks for what they've done. And the lawyer who just retired said, I've even told them at the SEC, guys, in a normal court of law, they have to have a reasonable doubt. They have to know beyond a reasonable doubt that XYZ happened to really go forward with the case. They have to, in order to commit and win that case, you must know beyond a reasonable doubt, you must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that XYZ happened. He says that's for the regular court system. This is a regulatory agency, not a court system. We do not have to have a reasonable doubt to take action, as a matter of fact. We could just have a little bit of information that makes us think that there's something going on here, and then we can investigate, we can pull the records, and then we can prosecute if we need to. We do not have to have anything beyond a reasonable doubt. We are a regulatory agency. And they gave an example, as a matter of fact, of, I think it was the new lady, the one who just took over, that Obama appointed. As I've always said, they appoint them. They don't elect them. They appoint them. Mary Shapiro, she'll go in there and take over. Right, she sure did. She took over and let the same things continue. And she let something that this attorney was again, he's the top attorney for the Security and Exchange Commission. So he was advising them how we're going to do this. They were going to go after somebody. It may have been JP Morgan. I think it may have been Goldman Sachs. I don't remember. And they demoted him based off of his actions and his recommendations on that case. They demoted him for doing the right thing. How do you do the right thing? Literally, how do you do the right thing in a world where the wrong thing rules? Think about that. I'm going to give a famous example I haven't given in a while about doing the right thing. Those who do the right thing will be the last one standing doing the right thing, suffering like they can't believe because they've done the right thing the whole time. You now have to change your mindset in some areas. And because everything is attached to the money you make, because without money you don't live, you don't survive, you can't do stuff, can't buy stuff, can't pay bills. So this has to be focused on doing the right thing and how that relates to money. Everybody in power is doing the wrong thing to do anything they can to get money. Plain and simple. I don't care that I was elected. I don't care that I'm supposed to do the right thing for these people. I want money, and I will do the wrong thing so that I can make myself even more powerful financially, more wealthy. Meanwhile, affecting hundreds of millions of Americans and billions of other people in other countries that are directly affected or indirectly affected by those decisions they made in our country. They are one person with one family. And that's all they care about, and that's all they see. So, doing the right thing. You're on the Titanic, and you happen to know, in this example, it's gonna hit something. Matter of fact, it doesn't matter if you know. It just hit an iceberg. You can hear the water rushing into this ship. It's bad. You look over the side, oh my God. Abandoned ship. But I was just standing, we're in line right now, I'm looking off the side. I'm in line to buy a hot dog from the hot dog vendor up here on the top deck. And I've just told him I want 5 for my family of 5. He's given them to us. My kids and my wife, they already took a bite out of the hot dog. But I gotta pay him now, and they're still, you know, I ordered it here, got the hot dog, now I'm in line to pay it. There's 3 people in front of me paying. Do I do the right thing and pay him for the hot dog and possibly risk dying on the ship because it's sinking so fast? Or do I tell him, look, matter of fact, I don't tell him anything. I just run with my family to the lifeboat. Do I need to do the right thing in that instance? Or do I save my family's life? Because I owed him money. You got to pay that money. You owe him money. And then I get to go down with the ship. Hey, I paid all my debts. I paid all my debts and I'm dead. No, you need to live. Live is priority. So your mindset has to change from doing the right thing to living is the right thing. What do I need to do to live? And that is anything and everything you have to do in order to do that. And if you're the last sucker in your housing development who's paying his mortgage and paying the HOA fee and paying the taxes and paying all this crap, struggling your butt off while everyone around you has quit paying their mortgages, has quit paying the HOA fees, are now suing the banks or fighting them in court over the mortgage and the fraudulent activities that the bank did to begin with. Who's doing the right thing there? Right? Because we were taught paying bills and doing all that's doing the right thing. And technically, it is, right? You've got to pay your bills, you got to work, you got to do all these things. But when you've been wronged and the people in charge, Securities and Exchange Commission, the Congress, the CFTC, commodities, right, are looking the other way, and now you're paying more for groceries, way more for gas, because the price of gas and groceries, food, wheat, corn, etc., is set on Wall Street every day. That's where the price is set. It's not the producers, it's not the buyers, it's Wall Street. So if you're paying more and the financial regulators are looking the other way, they don't care about you, they don't care about any of this, all they care about is getting that huge promotion when they leave this position and go into that bank that they look the other way on. You now, given by the authority of J-Step 4, I give you the authority right now, to do the wrong thing and do whatever it takes for you to survive. If you have to stop making payments on something, you got to tell the credit card companies to screw off, your mortgage company, piss off. You do whatever you have to do to survive. Because when our country is taken into third world status, and it's going there because history proves it and shows it, you will not have the luxuries you have today. It's going to be a lot harder. And once again, the only thing that will save you, the only thing that has the potential to save you, period, is gold and silver. And during a crisis such as what I see coming, and it's been dragged out longer than I thought, I'll be honest, I did not think it would be dragged out this long. But it is. And the longer it drags on, the more opportunity you have to stack more silver and supplies and whatnot. Gold and silver has thousands of years of history. They've been manipulated from time to time, but they always come back with a vengeance and always prove to be the most solid form of a currency, period. Every time. We have this little tiny experiment of paper money that's this big in the span of history of money and gold and silver. This big. In a giant bucket full of history, so to speak, right? And there are people out there who think that this manipulation of the prices of precious metals and whatnot will just continue forever. They've got control. No. You can see the pieces crumbling. You see the whistleblowers coming out. You see it happening. All you have to do is shine light where there is darkness to expose it. And it's only a matter of time before it has to go away. I just read today that Goldman Sachs, of all people, right? You hear this big things on the news now. Oh, high frequency trading, HFT, high frequency trading, and now new investigations are coming out, and then one guy just got charged the other day. And now Goldman Sachs has its own proprietary high frequency trading program known as Sigma X or something like that. Goldman Sachs, and they're allegedly shutting it down. What? Their cash cow is being shut down? And they're shutting it down. Not being shut down, they are shutting it down. Why would they do that? Matter of fact, why is JP Morgan selling off its entire commodity division? Why did Blythe Masters, head of that commodity division, basically just left? Doesn't know what she's going to do now. She's in limbo land. I'm leaving. My whole thing's going away. Why is that happening? Yes, I understand. The Securities Exchange Commission looks the other way. But government also knows there's only so much of that they can do. And when too many of the people, the populace, has figured it out and starts pressuring them, they realize, okay, now people are looking at me. They know what I've been doing. I have to start acting. So rather than throw the book at Goldman Sachs, throw the book at JP Morgan, as I've said this before, my opinion, they had the little backroom talk. Guys, you've been getting away with murder for decades. And in the last decade, you've really gotten away with it. We tried helping you. We looked the other way. You know. But there's only so much that we can do until the American populace really figures it all out. And they're figuring it out in a hurry. You're going to have to close down your high-frequency trading division. You're going to have to close down your commodity division. And you're going to have to close down that. You're going to have to close down that. That way, when we really stand up and do something, you guys are already cared for. We can give you the minimal fine again and say, look, these guys don't even do it anymore. They're off the hook. And they probably said, okay, of course. That's my opinion. So when I see these things happening behind the scenes like that, that's a good sign. But that also shows you what I'm talking about, history and stuff repeating, does in fact happen. It also shows you that just because they've manipulated precious metals prices for a couple decades now, is now also going to go out the window. Russia and China, there's going to be a disconnect in which we become completely irrelevant. Our stock market setting prices on gold and oil and all that is going to go away. They're already setting their own deals, their own systems up in China and Russia. Ours will be completely irrelevant. And what happens, for example, since we still control the price of oil right now, and it's $4.10 for premium, by the way, what are you going to do? What are they going to do when they say, hey, Russia and China have gas at what equates to US dollars of $2? Congress, why in the hell are we paying $4 or whatever it's at the time a gallon when Russia and China, they don't have anything that we don't have? They're going to have to, well, how? We're going to have to look into it. Well, why is the price that? Oh, it's set on Wall Street. Wall Street sets it every day. Yeah. Well, we got to take that mechanism away, don't we? We actually have to start charging for what it costs. How much does it cost to get out of the ground? Oh, $5 a barrel. Okay, it says it's $110 a barrel right now. How much do you charge to get out of the ground? Well, $5. Okay, but then you got to refine it. Yeah, it's another couple dollars a barrel. Okay, what else? Transport it. $1 a barrel. Okay. let's just round off and say $10 a barrel. Is that fair? Yeah, that's fair. $10 a barrel. Price on Wall Street says it's $110 a barrel. So everybody can make money at $10 a barrel. That's the cost. Matter of fact, let's double it so there's some good profit in there. $20 a barrel. Is that okay? That would equate to like probably $1 a gallon. Maybe $1 a gallon. We can have it today. We already have the oil. It's been there. 1970s. Found it, hushed it up. 400 years worth of oil. Lindsey Williams called it. Had a congressman at the time go with him and prove it to him, who then wrote the little foreword in his book and signed it. Yes, this man, Lindsey Williams, is correct. I saw it with my own eyes. 1980 something, I think that happened. That he had this book done. Energy Non-Crisis is the book. And I think it's on Amazon Kindle or whatever the hell it is for you to read if you want. And I woke up today very early, way earlier than I needed to, just for whatever reason, and just had all this stuff, these 2 videos I just talked about, on my mind. Why were they on my mind? Why can't I just wake up and forget about this? Why can't I just go back to sheeple mode? Go back to sheeple mode and you won't even know, you won't even care, you won't even be looking for these articles. It'll be nothing. Go to work, go home, go buy a boat, go buy a jet ski, go buy another quadcopter, don't buy any silver, go back to sheep mode. Can't do it, because once you've been awakened, you will never go back to sleep. That's why I do these videos, so that I hope I wake someone else up, and someone else wakes somebody else up, and someone else wakes that somebody else up. That's what's happening, but it's just happening slow. But thanks to the internet, YouTube, etc., it's happening. All these changes we're seeing, which are positive, believe it or not, even though third world status is coming to America, the change is positive. Because people are being exposed, things are being exposed, right? The gun running operation, Eric Holder, Fast and Furious, that was exposed. All these scandals exposed. Thanks to the internet. You don't have the mainstream media telling people, this is really what happened, trust us. Oh, wait a minute, I can go look on the internet and figure out in 2 seconds you're full of crap. Oh, now what are you going to do? Keep doing it on TV? Oh, that's right, you do that. And that's why ratings after ratings after ratings that come out for all of you mainstream media conglomerates, worse than terrible, and even twice worse than terrible for you. They are getting worse and worse. Remember old, what's his face? Pierce, Morgan Pierce, what the hell was his name? Pierce Morgan. The gun, trying to get the guns out of Americans' hands. Lost his show. And the final thing he said on his show, he spent the whole show talking about American and their guns and blah, blah, blah. Final boot to the butt kick out. Get out of here. The ratings plummeted, Pierce, with your anti-American, anti-Second Amendment propaganda. Piss off. Back to the UK like we said originally. Take care.